So I just wanted to briefly go through the library and the LMS. And for some of you, this is a refresher. For some of you, I know if you haven't been in there for a while, a lot of times people forget how to get there or they forget what they're able to do. So we have brand new people on here too. So I wanted to take the opportunity to show you what all you have access to as well. So the first thing I was going to take you to is the library. So first of all, to get to either the library or the LMS, and you guys have access to both, you just go to thedogGurus.com, and in the top corner of the page, there's that login button. That takes you to this page where if you scroll down, you obviously see Learning Dashboard, which I'll talk about in a second, or Library, which is access to the basic tools and resources that were part of our membership site originally. So there's over 5 years of content in the library. Susan, if you want to click on that and log in. The library access, you'll have a separate login for the library than what you have for the LMS, and that'll come to you initially in your first few emails if you just joined. What I would recommend is don't really worry yourself about the library. I would actually delegate somebody on your team to go into the library on a periodic basis and pull material out. And the best person would probably be a general manager or possibly one of your lead supervisors. You can just go to the tools, and once you log in,
you won't see
what
that.
You're gonna, yeah, you're not gonna see that. She's an admin, but you'll see this dashboard button. That's how you know you're logged into the library. This looks exactly like the regular homepage, but it doesn't say login anymore. It now says dashboard. So if you click on that dashboard button, the next page is going to take you to obviously the dashboard. The main place you want to go is this tools and resource, which says requires library subscription, which you guys have. When you go to that tools and resources page, you'll see a bunch of categories that you can search by topic. And it's everything from, evaluating facility, daycare 2.0, managing playgroups. And we won't go into all of these, but basically if you click on any one of them, you'll get to a whole list of blog articles and a whole bunch of resources that we've created on that topic. So this one is the Evaluating Dogs page. So you can see there's just a whole bunch of blog articles. And then over here on the main page, there's like the key resources for this area that we have. Now, some of those resources are in the LMS, but a lot of them are resources that your team can use. Again, my recommendation is that you delegate somebody on your team to go find this, especially if you have team members that do training, continuing education training. This library is a huge resource for them to get topics that are important to what your team is dealing with right now. One of the best places to go, if you go back, Susan, to the Lunch and Learns, which is under staff training, one of the things that we do add monthly to this library are our tools and resources. So I think if you go to the top, Susan, and collect up where it says select a category, there should be a drop down for Lunch and Learns. Every month we add a new Lunch and Learn lesson on here. These are done for you continuing education. So if you click on any topic, and again, there's several years worth of topics because we've been doing this for a while. You can find a topic and then there'll be a guided instruction as to how you can run your Lunch and Learn using that topic. So again, lots of great resources there. You guys do have access to it. There is, if you want more than one person to have access, you're welcome to share the login. So you'll get the login and you can just tell your general manager, here's the login, go and, look up whatever. So I personally wouldn't have you guys spending your time here though, because there's a lot of other stuff we want you to work on. So any questions on the library before I move on to the LMS? All right, so if you want to go back, you'll have to log out, Susan, or if you just want to go directly to the Chabo, if you have that.
Yeah.
When you're on that login page, the other login button says Learning Dashboard. That takes you to this page. You can also do what Susan and I do, which we just bookmark that page. This website for the LMS is on a completely separate, this is nothing associated with our website. It's a completely separate learning management system. But this is where you're going to find all of your Pet Guru College material, for training your staff, as well as all your growth intensive fast track material. So when you first log in, you'll go to that login screen and enter your credentials, and you'll come to this page. There is a little video tutorial here, kind of shows you how to use the LMS, but I'm covering most of that now. But if you forget, you can go back there. And then what you're going to see initially is this area called My Channels. The first area is called the Leader Channel. This is all of your how to use the LMS in terms of adding people to Pet Guru College, assigning them whatever the role that you want them to have so that they can do the training. There's information on Pet Guru College itself and what that looks like as a leader for that program, as well as for knowing dogs. Under that, and I'll come back to that in a second, under that, you're going to see some other channels. You won't see Launch Formula because you're not in that, but you will see this channel called Growth Intensive. This is where the bulk of your time will be spent as a Profit Network member. And what we generally recommend is if you want to just start in step one and start working through it, that's fine. What typically happens is your coach will guide you as to what resources within Growth Intensive are best for you at any given time. If you want to do, we have some people that do a hybrid, they do it, step by step, and then they also get their coach recommendations. It's totally up to you. But this Growth Intensive is generally speaking not something your team is going to need. That's something really that just you're going to need. Pet Guru College, on the other hand, I would recommend that you look through the leader information for Pet Guru College, but ultimately I would try to find a general manager or key leader who can actually run the training program for you. And it is a very extensive training program. We have some individual trainings just on Pet Guru College, but you'll see that under those channels, you'll see all the roles for the Pet Guru College program, which is daycare counselor, enrichment counselor, lodging counselor, seasonal pet care counselor, which is for your seasonal employees, and then client care counselor. Knowing Dogs is also part of Pet Guru College. So you have access to all of that. I would not recommend that you individually go through the entire Pet Guru College program. I would look through the leader module that was back up there in that leader channel and look through that, and then assign someone to kind of be the one to take advantage and take your staff through that, however you're going to roll that program out. A couple of others, you can leave that up in case anyone has questions. A couple of other things I will say, we are happy to help you navigate any of these channels. And the fastest way to get help, typically, if it's literally just logistics support or technical support, the fastest way to get help is to send an email to support, or click on this button right here that says contact our customer care team. That goes to support@thedoggurus.com. The fastest way to get help is to go that route, because that channel gets monitored by Amy and Karen, two of our virtual assistants, and they check that email more often than I check my email. So you can send an email directly to me and I'm happy to help. Just know that it might be 24 hours to 48 hours before you hear back from me. So if you're not in a hurry, then email me. But if you're in a hurry, email them. They'll get help to you faster. The only caveat I will say is there are things that we do for Profit Network that we don't do for anybody else. One of them is that we will give you multiple power users on the LMS if you want that. So I know, like Ed, so the power user is the person that has administrative access to actually add people to the program. So I know Ed at Urban Pooch, they have multiple leaders who have power user access because Ed's delegating the training to one of his or a couple of his staff members, which is awesome. If you email Amy and you say, I want another login, I want another power user login, make sure you tell her you're in Profit Network. Otherwise, she will reply to you and say, you just need to share your password, because we don't do that for anybody else. We normally limit power users to just one per facility, but for Profit Network people, we make an exception for that, and we will build out your platform however you want to build it in terms of the power user. So just make sure, if you want her to do that, if she replies to you with some, like standard, we don't do that, but you can share your, it means she doesn't realize you're in Profit Network. So that would be the only caveat for that. It's a huge, Pet Guru College is a huge program though. So we definitely would say take advantage of it, but it does take a little bit of time to set up as well. And we're happy to help you with that. So that is just a quick overview to all of the material that you guys have.